going to be very, very difficult. Like, if it's going to be a Japanese presentation, very likely what will happen is that on the Western side they think, oh, so what's the point? So what's my point of action? So what are we going to do? And why? I'm very often left with this kind of impression after listening to a Japanese presentation, because it's more, it's not designed to go this way. It's more of a description of the situation, and without a clear call to action, without a very concise process in okay, introduction, body, argument, summary. And therefore, logically, we go this way, and this is the roadmap, and okay, so we have something here. That's what a Western person would feel, but very likely the Japanese person would not craft his presentation this way. So a lot of people will be listening to this presentation and think, "There?
So what?
So what? Now what? So what else did we do here?"
So what he's going to do?
Basically, I would recommend to become aware of the fact that his way of thinking is not universal. Just like I didn't realize that my way of thinking is not universal. So if you are going to give a presentation, if you're going to persuade, then first you need to know who you're persuading, and you need to understand that persuasiveness is different.
I'm curious. I was working with an American company for many years at the board meeting, and the president that one time American, and he listened at the board meeting. He joined, but my guess, he never studied about Japanese value or culture, Japanese thinking way. But how come he joined the meeting and he does just follow on the discussion? How he going to make a judgment for that board meeting?
Because he never questions himself.
His own way.
Right.
But this it means for my current my feeling is maybe misjudgment he's going to make it.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Right.
Right. Just like I made a misjudgment to present in the way that I did, because it was completely not persuasive to the Japanese side.
But he does not understand that misjudgment.
Exactly. I didn't understand it at that time. Only 4 years later I realized, oh my God, I made so many mistakes.
So how do we going to recognize kind of misjudgment for those people?
So basically, my thinking back about the pyramid, right? So basically, the highest level of awareness is awareness of yourself. That's the pinnacle of becoming a globalized person. To really understand your own values, your own thinking pattern, and actually becoming aware of the fact that they are not shared with everyone, and that you are not necessarily right.
Do you mean it's for Japanese, for Western?
For both sides, actually. So basically, for anyone who wants to be global, who wants to be a global person, needs to become aware of his own values, his own ways of thinking, and become aware of the fact that they are not necessarily held outside of his own group, his own culture. So I really believed that I gave a very persuasive presentation, but I never considered the audience, because I thought persuasiveness is obvious, because everybody knows how to make a persuasive presentation. Yeah, but persuasiveness is not everywhere the same. It's different in Japan. If you want to be persuasive, first you need to build up rapport. You need to
Is this a good thing to do? Is this a good thing to do?
I think it's a very good thing, because you can use it anywhere. You can go anywhere in the world, and once you become aware and you realize that the other side is hesitant, you can become aware. Okay, so what am I doing here? And then question yourself. Oh, well, I'm trying to persuade them, but actually, wait a minute. Am I sure that my way of persuasion is the same as it is from their side? Now, if it doesn't work, then being capable of taking a step back, questioning yourself, because you can only change yourself, right? Yourself is the easiest way to the person to persuade. So to question yourself, to step out of yourself and look objectively at the situation and say, oh, there's something not going right here. Probably there is a cultural gap here. There's a mismatch. So that is a tool that you can use anywhere where there are cultural differences. If you're going outside, whether you go to Vietnam, or you go to Europe, or you go to South America, you will engage with differences. And only when you think that you are always right.
How are you going to fill in those gaps?
Oh, okay. So basically, that's below the pyramid, the steps below that, right? So we were talking about the infrastructure level. The level above that was, if I remember correctly, was the liberal arts.
Yeah, from my understanding, like liberal arts or kind of just Uno school.
Trust.
But Kimoto told me it takes several years to fill in gap.
Well, if you have to come from here, then it takes years. Yeah.
Is it true?
I think it takes time. Yeah, definitely.
Several years?
Well, I think there can be you can make shortcuts, but I think the most important step to take is the last step, to getting to know yourself. Not necessarily getting to know the other side, but becoming aware of yourself, and because awareness is the first step towards learning. Right?
That is my question. How are we going to solve this issue? Filling gap.
Filling
Gap.
all the gaps, or
Yeah, all the gap. I tell you, okay, we're going to make 1 hour presentation.
So, in your case,
Yeah.
talking for example about Japanese people, teaching them the Japanese spirit, I think, is very important to get to actually to put a mirror against themselves. So this is where you come from. This is where your cultural values come from. This is what you have been taught. What's in your DNA. This is how you feel, how you think. By putting that in front of them and not making it invisible, like, oh, this is atarimai, this is common sense, but making common sense explicit, and actually becoming aware of why you think the things that you're thinking, and why you appreciate certain things and you despise other things. Becoming aware of your own cultural reference is a very good step. So I think that actually, in case of Japanese people, the Japanese spirit is a very good training that helps you to get to know yourself.
How do they feel listening the kind of Japanese value?
I think, okay, so basically for me, it was kind of an eye-opener. When I started to study philosophy, for example, Western philosophy, I thought, oh, yes, of course, and yeah, that's right. So I never put a sticker on it, but I'm a typical linear active thinker. I get very annoyed if people are thinking in circles, or it doesn't really follow a path, or it's not follows the agenda, or they just take off on a tangent.
I made a lot of speech in the past for many companies. They will not continue sort of speech. Okay, just fast, short, good speech. That's it.
Right. So I think the problem there is that there's no perspective. I think also for Uno's school, we don't have a clear roadmap that shows.
Oh, roadmap. But if you're going to writing down roadmap, like Kimoto said, we take several years. So no. I do not want to.
So, but then, okay, then you end up doing what most schools do, and you teach them presentation skills, or you teach them debate skills, or you teach them
European
critical thinking
people?
skills, or no, maybe not Europe. Well, why not?